Hey guys, what's going on? It is Jason, and today we're going to take a look at an old game called Web of Gold. Web of Gold is a game from 1987 from TSR. And it plays 2 to 6 players. I've heard TSR did Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. That was what Katie said. I have no idea. But that's who did it. And in this game, what you were doing is you were taking on the role of an adventurer and a spider. And you're trying to get into this cave to bring back 6 pieces of gold to your base or headquarters. But other people's spiders can ensnare you in web and may be able to bite you. And too many bites and you're out of the game. So that's the gist of it. Let's go down the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Web of Gold, all set up for 3 players. The cool thing about setup for this is you take the lid off the box. So everything you're going to need can stay set up in the box. So long as you don't tip it on its side, that could cause some problems. But if you lay it flat, everything's good to go. So there's going to be some cards that are items that you're going to be digging for. There's going to be some webbing, some gold nuggets that you're trying to get back to your home base, and a die. And each player is also going to have a lantern, which is going to track their spider bites and how much oil they have, which will keep them safe from getting in webbing and or getting bit by spiders. All right, so let's go ahead and play. I've randomly set it up. We're playing as yellow, purple, and red, and I've just put the spider somewhere. It doesn't really matter for what we're showing you here, but you'd probably be more strategic if you were playing. So the way the game works is on your turn, you're going to decide if you want to turn your lantern on. So we'll say yellow's going first. The lantern is going to do a couple things. It's going to let you have a +1 to a die roll in the green and the yellow. The green spaces are going to give you item cards, which are going to help you in the game. Yellow spaces are going to give you gold. So if I had my lantern on and I was on a 4, I would need to roll a 3 or higher to get some gold. It's also going to help me to not get stuck in web or get additional web spun on me by a spider. And it will keep me from getting bitten by spiders. So that's what the lantern is going to do. So I'm not going to turn that on because I have a spider kind of far away, so it doesn't really matter right now. So I'm going to go ahead and move. So on my turn, I can move my adventurer 2 spaces, up to 2 spaces. So 1 or 2. So I'm going to move 2. 1, 2. I'll go right there. I'm on a 5 yellow. Now I'm going to roll the die. So if I can roll a 5 or higher, I get an item. And I got a 1, so I get no item. Then the second part of my turn is I can move my spider and either spin some web or try to bite an adventurer that's stuck in web. So I'm going to go ahead and move my spider right here, and I'm going to spin some web. And spiders spin web at a value of 3. So I now have a 3 web here that someone would have to roll a 3 or higher to get through that. All right, and that's yellow's turn. Next we're going to go to purple. Purple, they're not going to use their lantern either because there's no spider close. So they're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, and they're going to try to roll. And they got a 6, so they're on a 5 green, so they get a card. All right, so they got a grappling hook. Add 1 to your roll when you attempt to destroy a web. So that will help them get out of webbing a little bit easier. Now you can hold 6 items. So a card and a lantern now is 2 items. The lantern counts as 1, so at some point if you run out of oil or something, you can discard your lantern if you want to. Probably not a good idea, but there is that. Because you need to get 6 gold back to your base to win, so there's no way you're going to be able to do that in one trip unless you discard your lantern. Then they can move their spider as well. They're going to go ahead and put their spider here, and they will spin a web right here. So now it's red's turn. Red probably should use their lantern, but they're not going to because the spider's kind of close. So they're going to just kind of do the same thing that everybody else did. Go here onto a 5 green. And they rolled a 4, so they get nothing. They're going to move their spider to right here. And they're going to spin a web for that guy. All right. Now we're back to yellow. Oh, I can't see that well. I'll slide this in. All right. Now we're back to yellow's turn. They're going to turn on their lantern. So when you turn on your lantern, you're going to flip it to on. Then you're going to decrease your oil level because you're burning your lantern, which makes sense. Now, a couple things. I'm going to get an extra 1 to my die rolls for gold and items. And I can't get stuck. I can't get additional web spun on me or get bit by a spider. So now we're going to go. So I'm going to try to break through the spider web. Probably not wise, but I want to show you how that works. So what I'm going to do is I have to roll a 3 or higher to get through the spider web. I rolled a 1. So here's what happens. This spider web, I rolled a 1, so that's going to kill one of the strands. So that's going to turn that into a 2. And then I am going to sit on top of that, and I'm trapped in the webbing. So if I didn't have my lantern on, red could try to come through and bite me or trap me in additional webbing to make it harder for me to move. But I have that on, so I'm good to go. So now I can move my spider. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it there. And I'm gonna try to trap some of these good 4 spaces around so no one can get in here. All right, and that was that. And now we're back to purple. Purple is going to try to get some gold. So they're going to come here and here. They have a 5. They're not turning their lantern on. They're rolling. They got a 5, so they get some gold. So now purple has 3 items. So they're going to need to start thinking about, trying to get out. They're going to move their spider here. Spin another 3 web to trap red in here a little bit. And then it's red's turn. So red is going to turn on their lantern because it's getting a little hairy over there. So they have their lantern on. And then they are going to go ahead and try to break through the webbing. So they need a 3. And they got a 3, so the webbing is destroyed. Now they can continue their movement. So they will go 1, 2, and now they need to roll a 4 because their lantern is on. And they got a 2, so they get nothing. They can move their spider now, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to... Oh, they can't do that because he's in the lantern. So they're going to go ahead and spin some web. Spider's butt's kind of getting in the way sometimes, the abdomen. So they're going to spin some web right there to make it harder. And that is red's turn. And that's how the game's going to work until someone gets 6 gold nuggets back to their base. There's these cool little slots right here that you can slot them in too. Like, this board is unbelievable. It's really nice. And whoever does that first is the winner. Let me show you some cards because that's effectively the other crux of the game. So if you run out of oil, there's an oil flask that will let you increase your oil. A torch. This will let you destroy any webs you move through are automatically destroyed. So that's really nice. Grappling hook I already showed you. Add 1 to when you destroy a web. A pickaxe. Add a 1 to your roll indefinitely, which is amazing. Mushrooms. They get rid of a spider bite. So you're eating some magic mushrooms, so everything goes a little better. And those are the cards. They're just repeats of those. So I think 4 or 5 cards in the game, which, you never know what you're going to get. So that is Web of Gold. Let's go to the top. See what we think about it. All right, well, that was Web of Gold. First off, I want to say I love how everything just fits in the box in this. You don't even have to set it up. All you have to do is take out the lantern and put your pieces where they go, and you're set up. Everything else is good to go. It is awesome. It's just amazing to me. It's so easy to set up. Literally, if you take this off the shelf, you're playing in 15 seconds. It's awesome. So let's talk about this game. So I just got this game from Shop Goodwill. It's my new favorite store of all time. And this was unpunched. So I got a game from 1987. It was open, but all the pieces were unpunched. I had to assemble the lanterns. I had to punch out the webs and the gold coins. Awesome. So brand new, mint condition, old vintage game. I dig that. So let's talk about the game. So this is effectively what you saw in the overview. You're moving your adventure around. You're trying to get gold. You're also trying to get items because items are almost as important as gold if there are lots of players, because you need to defend yourself against spider bites. You need to get some of that oil. You want to get that the grappling hook, or I can't remember which one it is, but that you always have an extra +1 to your roll. That is amazing, amazing. So yeah, this game is just good times. It's not the most in-depth game in the world. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it's just fun. And sometimes you just want to play a game that's fun and looks amazing on the table. For being a game from 1987, it looks awesome. Just playing inside the board, like I already talked about, it's my favorite part. The board just looks awesome. The stalagmites coming out of the ground that the spiders sit on. So cool. The way the webs fit in between the spaces and go under your adventure, just awesome. Like, that's stuff that you would find in a game from today, and they were doing that in 1987. So that's slick. I can't complain about anything about this. It's not going to get a BGM accepted because I don't think the gameplay is as good as the amount of time that it takes to play. So I've only played this at 2, which is not that great. There's just not a lot going on. It says you're supposed to play it with each character playing each person playing 2 adventurers, but I was playing with my youngest daughter and I'm not going to do that. So 2 is no good. Higher player counts, too long. So it says on BGG 2 hours. That's probably right. To get into the middle of that with 4, 5, 6 spiders attacking and come out with 6 gold pieces, that's going to be tough. So yeah, the gameplay's fun, but for like an hour. Any longer than that, it outstays its welcome, and I don't really want to play this type of game for 2 hours. I love vintage games, but they need to be about an hour. That being said, the first hour you're playing this is great. So if you want this game and you don't care about the length of time that it plays, you can find it. I would recommend it because it's fun. It looks great on the table. And it's about spiders biting people, which is cool. So that's Web of Gold from TSR. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.